Hey everyone, in this part we are going to try to answer a few questions that you guys asked. Some of these questions I have already answered on the thread itself, but for those who are looking for the same type of information, I'm going to put this out there so they can make use of it. Alright, so the first question is, when I enter the text box, I need to fire some event in WPF like Winform textenter event. Okay, so and when that event fires, I guess something happens. I think if I remember correctly, a listbox disappears. So we're going to try to do something like that. So I'm going to add 3 text boxes here. Text box. Where's my text box? Down below here. Sure, if I can spell it right, that'd be great. Alright, so that's one. Let's copy this twice. More. Alright, so we got 3 text boxes. And let's pretend this last text box is a list box. And we're going to make this appear or disappear when we enter one of the text boxes. Alright, so I'm gonna give some text to this third one, such as appear / disappear. Okay, and give it a name. I'm gonna call this TBX3. Okay, so basically when we enter the, let's say, first one, we want it to appear. When we go to the second text box, we want this to disappear. We can do this 2 different ways, one with event handlers, one with styles, using triggers. Since I have already covered the triggers in my I think event triggers tutorial, we're going to do this using events by C# code. Okay, so let's say we want, when we enter the first one, we want this to appear and actually disappear. Let's see, doesn't matter, I guess. So the event we can use MouseEnter event, but what if you decide to use your keyboard instead of your mouse? In that case, we're going to use an event called GotFocus. This covers actually both, so whether you use your mouse or keyboard, you're covered. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing for the second text box. So let's say the first one, when we enter, we want, when we enter the or when we, let's say yeah, when we enter the first text box, we want this to disappear and the second one to appear, or vice versa. Doesn't really matter. I think you get the idea. Alright, so let's go to event handler. So let's say when this event fires, we want tbx.3 visibility equals to visibility dot hidden, and the other one, the second one, we want this to be, let's say, visibility equals visibility dot visible. Okay, let's try this out, see if we did it right. First, I'm going to use my mouse to enter the first text box, and it disappeared. And if I use the mouse, click on the second text box, it appears. Okay, and next I'm going to use my tab key to go to this first text box. Again, it disappears, and tab again to go to the next one. So when it gets focus, it still fires the event and runs the code. Okay, so that's that. So basically, instead of MouseEnter or mouse leave, GotFocus I think covers both the mouse part of it and the keyboard part of it, so it can be more useful. So you get your bases covered. Alright, so that's answered that question. Again, the other way to do it, it's using event triggers or the triggers. Again, if you haven't seen the triggers tutorial, make sure you check that out. It covers a lot of this stuff. Alright, so the second question is, can I display the full text of a text block that uses 3 dots as a tooltip? I mean, we covered this, how to display the 3 dots in our text block tutorial, but let's go ahead and do a quick example here too. So basically what we want to do, we want to add a text block here. Let's add a text block, and I'm going to copy and paste this text here. I think it should be somewhere here. I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And paste it here inside the text property, and close this out. So basically the idea is, let's see if it shouldn't fit. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't fit here. So first we want to make sure the part that doesn't fit gets displayed as a 3 dots. So text, we're looking for text trimming. We're going to trim this using character ellipses. So now the remaining part that doesn't fit in the text block will be displayed as 3 dots. And then we want to add a tooltip, but tooltip should display the full text. Okay, so it's not that hard. So all we have to do is add a textblock.tooltip tag. Okay, and inside our tooltip tag, we're going to add another text block that contains the full text, right? So I'm just going to copy and paste the same text in here and close this out. So now let's run this, see what happens. Alright, so this is our trim text, and if I mouse over, I should get the full text as a tooltip, and which we are getting right now. Okay, so that's how you do it with that tooltip, displaying the full text that has been trimmed in our text block. Alright, our last question for this tutorial is, what if the CVS file has integers and floats in it instead of I guess I forgot to set that to text wrap. So again, it says if the CSV file has integers, floats in it instead of just strings. So CSV file, actually it's all text. When you save to a CSV file your data, it's saved as text. But when you read back into your C# file, like we did in our, let me see if I can find it. Okay, right here. So when we are reading back, we are mapping to our property, which is like ID was int, and when we read back from the file, we are parsing it and converting it to int to match our property. Okay, same thing goes with float or double or decimal or whichever number type or value type you're working with. Now right now we're getting squiggly because our property is int here and we are converting to float, that's why, but it's the same idea. So int, float, double, decimal, doesn't matter. When you read back from the file, read into your C# class, you just convert to the value or the value type that you need to. Okay, I hope this answers your questions and helpful for somebody that's looking for the same type of information. Again, I may not be so quick to answer the questions, but I will get to it. So keep posting your questions and I'll try to answer as fast as I can, okay? Alright, take it easy for now. Until the next one. Have a good one.